But these are troubled times that we're living in. When bombs fall, children will cry. And yes, Lord, some will die. And you just got to say, Lord, 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 Lord. God bless the children. God bless the children. Teach them how to love like never before. And may we never, never, never study war no more. Talk to the heart of the men who lead us. And make them understand right now it's the children who need us. I know, oh yes I know, it's not right. But as men, if they just must fight, then our Lord, 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 Lord. God bless the children. God bless the children. So many times I've heard this phrase, that trouble, it won't last always. Now I'm not saying that this phrase is wrong, but I'm wondering right now, how come it's got to last so long? You see a newborn baby, some proud mother's arm, then you think of all the countries that now have the bomb, and you just got to say, Lord, 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 Lord. God bless the children. God bless the children. God bless the children. Say one more time. God bless the children. Yeah, sound mighty good. God bless the children. God bless the children. God bless the children. God bless
Easy. You're jerking it too much. Now, what do you see?
I see little circles inside of a bigger one.
Well, fiddle with the knobs. I think there's some rods in there, too.
I see them, I think. Oh, it's out of focus again. Darn microscope.
It's not the microscope's fault.
This came today. Danny, pay attention. I did this for you.
Oh, wait a minute, Mom. Hey, Casey, what do these do?
No, wait a minute, you. Why want you in on this? I want you to know exactly what kind of a person you've been associating with. Big shot scientist from Caltech. Read that.
California State Bureau of Correction, Sacramento, California. Dear Mrs. Pilgrim, in reply to your letter concerning Casey T. Poe, recently an inmate of the Chino Minimum Security Prison.
That's enough. We're both aware of your son's ability to read, Mrs. Pilgrim.
What's wrong, Casey?
Your friend here is a dope fiend. The 2 years that he claims he was away on an experiment for the government, he was in jail, stupid.
I said that's enough.
You get out and take this junk with you!
Saved your case.
Where have you been?
What? Down the dunes with Apple. That dude is a stone freak, man. He was laying on the beach there for like 2 hours without talking. Not one word. Maybe he doesn't have anything to say. Want to get behind this? Yeah. Man, you can't even lie down on the beach anymore.
You must be really stoned. Why do those dudes have to make a living out of bothering us all the time?
Mrs. Tyler?
How's Apple, Doctor? Is he all right? Going to be?
Well, I don't quite know how to answer that. He's got a lot of things wrong with his body, but they're not what's causing what's wrong with him now.
Well, what is wrong with him?
He isn't talking. He isn't making any sound at all.
You mean it's his tongue? There's something wrong with his tongue?
No. Physically, he's capable of speech.
Then what?
Well, it's as if he's turned off a switch inside his head somewhere.
You mean he's crazy?
I don't know what I mean. But he is a user of amphetamines, though. That much I do know, and he has been for some time.
Is that drugs?
Yes. Something happened when he took them today, and at the moment I can't tell you what it was.
Will he ever talk again?
I think we got one. We'll keep you posted. Isn't that, what's his name? Poe? I thought he went clean. They never go clean. down in Chinatown. St. Peter Street. Yeah, I know you. How much? That's a dime, man. It's a nickel, man, all over town. You ain't all over town. Later.
Help me dial a number. I can't seem to get it.
You a junkie? Cops tear you up, they see that. What's the number?
You like to think you're strong, but you're a weakling. Only a weak man wouldn't even try to control his impulses.
Look, Beatrice, I've got plenty of self-control.
Oh, is that why you try to put your hand through the windshield just because your car's stalled in traffic?
Come on.
Your kids are probably afraid to talk for fear you'll kick their teeth in.
My kids have respect for me.
Why don't you shut up about your kids and talk about yourself?
Well, I would if you could just give me a chance to get a word in edgewise.
Telephone, Doc. One of your patients. You can get it on line 2 in the back.
Keep going. You're doing fine. Who's this? Whitman? It's me, Casey Poe. Hey, man, I'm about to blow. Where are you? Downtown somewhere, 18th figure on Colored Church.
All right, we'll try to hold it together. I'll leave now.
I'm clean. Concern you, buddy.
I'm a doctor. This man is my patient.
Hold it.
Here's my business card, huh? License.
Is he clean?
I'm clean. I've been clean for 2 years. I'm gonna take him with me. Any objections?
Take it easy, Poe. Stay out of traffic.
Come on. Were you really clean? Of course I was clean. So what the hell did you pull me out of a session for? Is this a game you're playing to see if I'll come whenever you call?
Hey, man, I called you because I'm an uptight junkie. You need a little reassuring. You're obviously the last guy to call for that.
Well, if you'd been at the session where you belong, you'd have had the reassurance you wanted. You're not the only one involved, Casey. There are 7 other people who are beginning to cook tonight.
Well, the next time I call you, you won't have any trouble making a decision, will you? See how easy it is? That's $30, please. Maybe I've been using the wrong approach with you. Been trying for the last 2 months to use conventional psychiatry to get through to you, and it hasn't been working. Look, I've been trying for 2 months. Oh, like hell you have. The most uncooperative patient I've ever had. Is it my fault if nobody in the group wants to talk to me?
How the hell can you sit there and say that? Everybody in that group has tried to lock into you, and you haven't opened your mouth 5 times in the 2 months that group has been at... This is ridiculous, man. You got me screaming at the top of my lungs. I'm not much help to you if I can't control my emotions, am I?
You're the psychiatrist, you tell me.
I don't know, Casey.
No good to either one of us if I lose control, and that seems to happen between you and me.
Maybe our personalities are incompatible. That happens, doesn't it? All the time. I've told patients after one session that they'd be better off looking for another psychiatrist. It's no reflection on either one of us, but it might do you good to look for another doctor.
Yeah. Well, I want to think about that. Hey, listen, you got a soda or something?
Help yourself.
If I leave the group, you got to tell my parole officer, right?
Those are the conditions of your parole. You have to make the sessions. Don't worry, I'll make sure that it doesn't reflect on you adversely.
Chances are, me and the next psychiatrist get along fine, huh?
Yeah, you probably go to a state hospital.
A state hospital?
Most private psychiatrists don't want junkies for patients. You don't seem to want to straighten yourself out. You've lied to me. It would have been easier and healthier to tell the truth. Casey, I don't want you to go. You may not have any regard for your life, but I do. I know that deep down inside of you there's a contribution to be made. I want to help you find it, but you're going to have to open up if you're going to stay with me. Beginning with what happened tonight. Come on, what set you off?
My landlady evicted me. Ever since I moved in, she's been on the make for me. I guess I just put her down too hard.
She must have been pretty desperate. Expecting to buy that?
Yeah. All right, she got a letter from a school I used to teach at in Vermont, why I'm no longer in their employ.
There's nothing in your file about having been a teacher.
There's a lot about me that isn't in my file. Yeah, I was a teacher. I was a damn good one.
Why were you fired? Yeah. I was clean for a long time, but they had me dead to rights. You're the first person I've ever told that to.
It's a step. How much time did you take?
No. It's the truth. They said they didn't want me to have a record. They liked me. Well, that's what they said. The truth is, it's a private school. They didn't want any scandals. They just made sure that I couldn't get a teaching job anyplace else in the country.
If I didn't know about this, how did your landlady find out? Who told her? You?
Going around broadcasting, so... I don't know, maybe she found a letter in a drawer someplace.
In other words, you left something where she'd be sure to find it, huh?
What do you want from me? I haven't had a fix in 2 years!
I wonder what we'd find if we went back inside that church. Well, that's enough for tonight. I'll make some coffee. Hello? Hello? Persephone?
Was that another patient?
You can sag out here tonight if you want. I'll get some sheets.
Oh, you can't keep calling me that way. You're not my patient, Persephone, and, hey, are you listening to me?
Fantastic organic dishes. I made one with nuts that'll knock you out.
You got my mouth watering.
How about tonight? I can make it for you tonight.
Well, I can't tonight. I have to be back in town.
You always have to be back in town.
Oh, come on now. That's not fair.
Fair. I don't believe I've ever heard that word before.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'll come back afterward and I'll spend the night.
I'll cut the telephone wires.
I think I'll bring the scissors.
Hang on to this one too, some useful information there. And here's another.
I have to talk.
You need a haircut.
There are other experts in the field besides yourself, you know.
I'm getting to them. Oh, I doubt that any of this stuff will give you specific enough information for your particular problem. Everything these days is unique anyway.
Well, it's all good reference material. Let you know what's been done where and by whom. This is my colleague, Jim Whitman. Jim, this is Fred Lewis, fine GP from up in San Sebastian. Jim's a psychiatrist here in town, also gives a course in our psych department.
Barney, I have to talk.
Will you hold it a minute? I guess these will hold you for a while, huh?
Thanks for giving me so much of your time, Dr. Altman. I'm very grateful to you.
Not at all. My pleasure. And I'll see you this afternoon.
Fine.
I'll be there. Didn't your mother ever teach you any manners? Since when do you come barging in on me when I'm with someone?
I went to Mandela yesterday.
Oh? How's Persephone?
What's what I want to talk about? I'm worried about the treatment she's getting.
Like what, for instance?
The types of therapy she's getting. She's in all kinds of encounter groups. She hardly ever gets a private session.
If she wanted private sessions, she'd be going to private sessions. You're letting your personal feelings follow up your professional judgment, and besides which, you're not a doctor. You saw that man who just left, Lewis. 90% of the kids in his town are into heavy narcotics, and nobody up there seems to give a damn. I'm going up this morning to see what I can do for him. And I don't have the time now to involve myself in problems that are resolving themselves.
Of every producer and every executive coming on to me. I'm not going to UCLA 2 nights a week.
Well, a year ago I would have belted the guy.
So, how did it feel?
Well, it would have felt good to belt him. But it felt better not to.
You need a haircut, Jim.
Well, I might just grow a beard, too. Come on like a traditionalist.
So some middle-aged slob with a mortgage in Chatsworth can indulge in his adolescent fantasies.
Well, next week I report for my physical.
Well, you have my letter. There shouldn't be any problem. Call me when you get out. Let me know how it went. It's Dr. Whitman calling again. I'm calling about Persephone Tenenbaum. Wait a minute, prescribed sleeping pills for... Yeah, well, you're right. I'm not her doctor. Yeah, I'm sure Dr. Evans knows what's right for her. If she wakes up later on, will you have her call me at home, please? Right, thank you. I didn't know you made house calls.
Oh, lay off. Lay off the wisecracks. I'm not in the mood tonight. I saw your light on and felt like talking.
Barney, I'm tired. If you still want to talk tomorrow, call the office. I'll make an appointment for you.
What's the matter? Your feelings hurt because I couldn't give you the whole morning? I'm concerned about Persephone, too, you know, and I'm the one who What am I talking about? I'm a depressed kid. I got a problem that just won't quit.
Your hour begins now.
Always with the jokes. I wasted 6 hours today trying to talk to a group of people who are barely aware that the automobile's been invented. To hear them talk, Woodstock, Timothy Leary, the Black Panther Party, are all figments of Life magazine's imagination. I don't know what kind of problem their kids have, but the parents sure have one.
Now, what kind of a professional, to use your language, would make a judgment like that after 6 hours in a strange town?
10 minutes in this town would be sufficient for anyone.
Well, I'm sure your bill will reflect your effort, and you're such a masochist, you'll probably go up there again.
Tomorrow, as a matter of fact. I only came back because I had to put some distance between me and them, or I'd have blown my cool.
Well, Barney, if they didn't listen today, why should tomorrow be any different?
Maybe I am exaggerating a little. Tomorrow's an open town council meeting. Once I lay the issue before them, they'll have to acknowledge it. It's that initial contact that it's so hard to make.
Well, I'm sure you'll make it. And they'll love it.
I'd really appreciate it if you'd come up with me.
I can't.
I could use some moral support.
Maybe another time.
No, all right. I'll let you know how it went when I get back. You get some sleep.
You too. Knock him dead up there. Lester, it's Jim. Yeah, okay. Barney's on his way. He'll be home any minute. When he comes, tell him I changed my mind, and I'll pick him up in the morning. How do you understand?
You'll get a chance to meet a few people and talk with them before we go to the meeting. The chief of police, Raymond Glenn. Lewis, you met briefly. He's the only one who really understands the gravity of the situation.
McNamara, church spokesman. I don't know where he stands. I think most of these people are well-meaning. They just don't know. They need a good kick in the pants, and that's exactly what they're going to get. They'll never know what hit them.
Hey, I hear your boy Donnie done pretty well on his college board. He must have got his grades from the other side of the...
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Can someone turn this down a bit, please? Testing. 1, 2. I'm going to make this short. A few days ago, one of our high school students wound up in the hospital. According to Dr. Lewis here, his attending physician, he got there because he was a heavy drug user. I said, in all probability, many of San Sebastian's teenagers are heavy drug users.
These are what they call speed, amphetamines. Perhaps some of you here have taken mild forms of it to lose weight. Your kids take the strongest form, melt it down and shoot it into their veins just like junkies shooting heroin.
That sounds a bit crazy to me.
Would you let him speak? Maybe he can help us.
Like comparing our kids to dope addicts? It's preposterous.
I don't believe you realize that the drug problem in this town is rapidly approaching epidemic proportions. The problem, though, is that the more they keep taking drugs, the more distasteful the real world becomes for them. So they keep taking more potent, longer-lasting ones to shut the real world out as much as possible. That's what's happening to the kid in the hospital.
But that's just one obscure case. I mean, you're taking an accident and blowing it up into absurd proportions.
When 10 or 50 or 250 wind up in the hospital or worse, will it still be an accident?
It's Weasel. Come on in, man. Kid, I just scored, man. Hey, where'd you get them reds, man? I've been trying to score all week. They're not really reds. They're like reds. But they're unlike reds.
I'd like to ask a question.
Go ahead.
Of Chief Glenn. Isn't all this stuff against the law?
Yes, it is.
Then where are they getting it? That's what I'd like to know.
Well, it's accessible, Dolph. I mean, if they can't choke off a supply in L.A. and Fort Wayne and where have you, how do you expect me to do it here?
What are they? I don't know, man. Who cares? They're small. Are you telling me that my kids are exposed to drugs every day and you're not doing anything about it?
Ma'am, I'm just trying to explain it.
Because if that's true, I'm pulling my youngsters out of school next Monday.
Listen, Glenn, I want to ask you a question, too.
What is your question, sir?
I've lived in this town for 38 years, and so far we've done a pretty good job of taking care of ourselves. Now, this guy comes along and tells us that 250 of our kids are going to go off the deep end.
Okay, next.
He could have just as well said 1,000. But listen, you live in this town. He doesn't. Now let me ask you this question. How many of our kids do you think are taking dope? Huh? Well,
would you say 90%?
Well,
80%?
50, 40, 30.
Would you say 5%?
I'd certainly say more than 5%.
We're all in agreement that we do have a drug problem here. We've asked Dr. Altman to help us establish a program so that we can effectively deal with it. To do this, it takes money. I'll entertain a motion to allocate sufficient money from the emergency fund to put the program to work. So moved. Is there a second?
I second it.
Very well. All those in favor of approving the allocation, please signify by raising your hands. Opposed? Sorry, Dr. Altman.
What kind of people are these? Their own kids. What a mistake to come up here. I'm sorry I wasted your time.
Well, what'd you expect, miracles?
I expected a better reaction.
Why? These people are concerned. Don't get yourself that they're not. But every time they turn around, their taxes go up. They're sick and tired of people asking them for money. And it's never their kid that has the problem. It's always the kid next door.
No. That's too easy an answer. Unacceptable.
All right, then fly to Chattanooga, Moline, Illinois, somewhere like that. Their kids are on drugs, too. You can't be God, Barney. It's the first thing you ever told me. You can't solve the world's problems, so face it.
Hey!
All right.
Hey, stop that, man! I just got this! My mother will live on me!
Oh, yeah? Hey, you freak. Don't tell me how to behave yourself in public. Now it is worth eating.
Oh, I'm not gonna eat that thing now! Anybody want a hamburger?
Look, it's yours and you gotta eat it, otherwise we won't let you watch Johnny Carson.
Hey!
A naughty girl.
Hey!
Let's get out of here before this place blows my mind. I think
No. This town doesn't have a drug problem. Did you see them? They were so hyped up, they're practically flying. Somebody's got to do something for these kids.
seemed like they were in a nice place.
But how did they get to it?
That's another question. However they did, I don't think they're as bad off as their parents. Can't help it, I dig kids. I think we have a lot to learn from them.
I'm afraid we won't be learning much from these kids.
Sir, do you think you can move down a little bit until this can sit together? Thank you.
Hi, happy.
Hello, Jane. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Darling.
How you doing?
Hi, Jane.
Howdy, Mary. Sorry I'm late. Got hung up in traffic.
Okay, we start without you.
Good. Looks like all the bodies are here. Yeah. We'll get started without him.
Could I have a light?
Don't bite. Hey, I'm sorry. I was trying to be friendly.
There are times when she's very warm, very friendly, but then just as we start to get close, she starts to pull back again.
Maybe you're doing something that makes her pull away.
You've broken off with a lot of women in the past 2 years, haven't you, Steve?
Yeah. But I could really dig to have an old lady now.
I thought it might be interesting to have a discussion about drugs tonight.
You mean sleeping pills? Pep pills, things like that?
I say drugs in terms of the entire drug culture we live in today. Creating artificial dependency so that we have comfortable problems to hide behind, smoke screens to cover up the real problems we don't want to face.
Some of us have tried to be honest, Jim. Can't deny that.
Granted, we've all bared our souls to a certain extent here. The exception of our friend, Mr. Poe, for some unknown medical reason, contracts lockjaw every time he enters the room. But all we've really gotten into so far is the top layer.
What about Mary the other night?
That's about this much. Is that all there is to you, Mary? Yeah. We have to tear down that protective armor we've spent a lifetime erecting so that we can discover the gut things that are troubling us. True? Well, we've been together for 2 months. We've learned to be comfortable with each other. Tonight the gloves come off. Well, you're going to have to do it for each other. I can't do it for you. Okay. Session's over. Get out of my sight.
I'm a prostitute. That's what you want, ain't it?
You mean...
That's right, baby. Pays good money, too.
What's your price?
For you, $10,000.
You must hate men, don't you?
I hate weak men. And that's what this world's made of.
A good woman can make any man strong.
Where I come from, they start so low they never see daylight.
Where do you come from, Beatrice?
118th and Lenox Avenue. Harlem to you, baby. I wound up where I am 'cause I loved a dude who wasn't about to end up like his old man. So he started smoking grass at 8. And by the time he was 15, he was a junkie with a $200 a day habit. And I was paying for it downtown with the likes of you. There's your real drug culture, Doc. Not some fancy white kid smoking weed, trying to escape a world my old man would have killed to get into.
Too bad he never got there, Beatrice. He might have seen that it's not all it's cracked up to be.
Why is it so fashionable today to knock this country? These kids would come out of their marijuana days, they might see that they don't have it so bad. Of course, after they've been smoking for a while, they're too stupid to see anything.
There are people that smoke marijuana who don't consider themselves stupid.
Oh, yeah? Like who?
Well, I don't consider myself stupid. And I smoke marijuana.
Well, I think that's disgusting.
I smoke marijuana, too. Do you find me disgusting?
Yeah, I find you disgusting anyway.
Yeah, I take a taste now and then, too. Where does that leave me?
I don't get it. Why all of a sudden am I on the defensive just because I don't believe in something that's against the law? What do you think, Mary?
Oh, I don't think it's right.
Have you ever tried it?
Oh, no.
Well, you don't have to shoot yourself in the head to know that it's no good for you. Well, what do you think, Casey?
Who cares?
Come on, Casey. Have you ever tried it?
That stuff's for suckers.
Where do you come off, Casey? You sit here week after week on your throne like a king, not saying anything, judging everybody. When are you going to start contributing to this group?
Yeah, Casey, why do you bother to come here at all? You seem to have nothing but contempt for everything and everybody.
I'm supposed to care about a bunch of spoiled neurotics who get their kicks by standing up and telling strangers how messed up they are?
Then why don't you take off from here? We'd all be better off.
That's the first intelligent statement I've heard tonight, Palsy. Sit down, Casey. I'll tell you when you can go. Sit down. Maybe I was wrong in taking you to this group in the first place, but you are a member and you'll start contributing if I have to pry it out of you.
What are you hiding, Casey? What's so terrible about you that you're afraid to open your mouth?
Why are you so down on drugs if you've never even tried them?
Why don't you ask Donald and Mary? I don't see them jumping up and down to try them. She's asking you.
Come on, Casey. What's so horrible about smoking a little grass once in a while?
You smoke a little grass, you pop a couple pills, that's adult, huh? That makes you tough. By coming to a comfortable little session 3 times a week and showing everybody how free you are by exposing yourself. Is this another form of the same game you play with each other, getting it on by pretending to bare your soul? You're like kids with a secret. It's no fun unless you tell it to somebody else. An alcoholic. A prostitute. And it's never your fault, it's always somebody else's.
I'll bet nobody fouled you up, did they?
God dead, you blood.
Nobody in this life could do as good a job as you've done on yourself. You're the most pathetic thing I've ever seen.
Look, you ought to be lighting candles to that hustler for being a junkie, baby. He gave you the excuse to break loose what burns inside you and every woman like you from the day you're born, you pig.
You no! You that junkie was a saint!
Oh, listen, the day a junkie makes sainthood, I'll become one. It ain't gonna happen, Palsy. No way. Just getting warmed up. Well, these suckers come here because they want to. It's fine, that's their problem. You wouldn't get me within a mile of this place if it wasn't a condition of my parole. You know how easy it is to go back on stuff? I know a guy who started shooting again because he caught a cold. But you're not gonna break me down, Palsy, no matter how hard you try. I did my time in jail and I'll do it here with you. It's gonna be a hard time.
Hi, Apple. I brought a sandwich for you. I'm putting it right here next to you. You can eat it when you get hungry. It's good. Do you want me to play some for you? Well, I'd like to.
Yes, I heard.
We saw that kid 2 days ago, and I said he looked happy, like he was in a nice place. What are we going to do about that town, Barney?
I've made up a list of recommendations here, along with the names of some other psychiatrists in the field who will be able to help.
Petersdorf, Martinez, Shapiro. These guys are fossils, Barney. You know as much about dealing with kids as a man in the moon. You have to go back up there.
I don't have to do anything. One thing I've learned over the years.
All right, I'll go up. And I'll bring someone with me who'll really get through those kids.
What makes you so sure he'll go?
Because I'm stronger than him, that's why. And he has nothing to lose. I'll give him a title, Special Technical Assistant. San Sebastian will pay him more than he could make in the car wash. And it'll get him out of Los Angeles. I believe if he can establish a relationship with one person, he'll have a good chance to make it. Up there, he'll be able to get to those kids, and maybe the kids will get to him. Could be Poe's chance for a contact. He has to make a commitment.
Well, it's ridiculous. It's never going to work. They find out I'm a junkie, they're going to ride us both out of town on a rail, you know.
They don't know you're a junkie.
Well, you're going to tell them, aren't you?
What they don't know won't hurt them.
You're crazy. You'll never get away with it.
They told me to handle this problem the way I wanted to do it. That's what I'm doing.
Where are we staying? I need a place with a bathtub. I don't like showers.
All right, you can have 2 bathtubs if you like. Let's get some sleep.
Don't you want to talk about what we're going to do tomorrow? I don't want to walk in on a high school full of hostile kids.
We can talk about it over breakfast.
Oh, I'm not very tired. I'm going for a walk.
Where to?
I don't know, get a cup of coffee or something. What's the matter? You afraid I'm so uptight I'm going to go out looking for a fix? Look, if you're going to start worrying about that, palsy, we might as well get in the car and head back to L.A. You're going to have to start trusting me, and I mean right now.
You're right. Don't wake me up when you come back, huh?
No.
Two packs of Schmeckles, please. What?
Menthol cigarettes. 100 millimeters long. A lovely filter tip at the end.
90 cents.
Yeah, you.
Shut up, stupid.
Nice little place you got here.
Are you a cop?
Let's have it.
Have what? Listen, man, what are you doing here anyway? Hey.
you got in there?
Nothing?
How many of you use this same needle? It's the best way to get hepatitis I know of.
Man, who was that dude? I bet you was the Fuzz.
If he was the Fuzz, we'd all be going to jail now.
Sorry, take it easy. Come across anything interesting? Yeah, if you want to call a couple beers and 3 games of shuffleboard interesting. See you tomorrow. Sweet dreams.
Well, you're up mighty early this morning. Mind if I join you?
Yeah, sit down.
Thank you. Just a cup of coffee, Jane Black, please. I have 2 kids in grade school, and my wife insists that I eat the same breakfast they do every morning. I've had mine. Please. Thank you.
And Chief Glenn, I'd like you to meet Casey Poe, my technical assistant. Raymond Glenn is the chief of police here. How do you do, sir?
Pleasure, sir.
Jim's been telling me a lot of nice things about you in the town, too.
I'm flattered. Town owes you an apology for the other night. Unfortunately, it takes a tragedy like this to bring people to their senses. Sure hope you get something going quick. There's a lot of fear here. I don't mind telling you.
Yeah, well, we have several ideas. You know, it's important, though, that we have the cooperation of the town, especially that of the authorities.
Well, don't you worry about cooperation. You got full cooperation, Dr. Poe. I take it you're a psychiatrist also?
Well, not exactly, no. I've had quite a bit of experience dealing with problems like this, however. You may recall there was a similar instance to this in upstate New York last year. I'm sure you're familiar with it. It was in all the newspapers. Very prominent story.
I don't recall.
Well, it doesn't matter. The problem is here. It has to be faced here. Now, we're going to be able to fill you in better on the specifics as soon as we break your youth population down into several categories, such as ethnic. I think we'll have to go into that with the chief later on. We have some appointments to make this morning.
Oh, yeah, well, don't let me hold you up. Like I said, if there's anything I can do for you, don't hesitate to call. Pleasure meeting you, Mr. Poe.
It's all mine, Chief. Don't push too hard, buddy. You're walking on thin ice. I am. I thought I was the expert. Just don't let it go to your head. I didn't come to you for help, Halsey. I know how far I can go. I hope so. You better hope so, because we're going to do it now. Alan.
Hi.
I'd like to meet my technical assistant, Casey Poe, Ellen Downing, girls' guidance counselor. How do you do? This job looks better already. What's all the black? It looks like everybody's going to a funeral.
They are. Fritz's funeral is this morning. Some of his friends are being excused to attend. Teddy, this is Dr. Whitman. He was up the other day at the town council meeting.
Ted?
Hey, yeah.
And this is Dr. Whitman's associate, Mr. Poe, Teddy Keller. Teddy was Fritz's best friend.
Are you a psychiatrist too, Mr. Poe?
No.
We had 2 boys admitted to the Ivy League this year. Teddy's going to Yale. Fritz had been admitted to Cornell. Now it's up to Teddy to put us on the map.
I'll bet he will. Maybe we can have a talk sometime.
All right. When would you like to do it?
Well, I'll know where to find you when I need you.
That's Nice to meet you, Mr. Poe.
Oh, call me Casey. We'll be in touch.
Many of us knew Fritz since the first grade. He was the fairest, the most generous person I've ever known. Whenever I had a problem that I couldn't take to anybody else, I could always go to him, talk it out. He was my best friend for 15 years. We were going to hitchhike across the country together this summer, see how it looked, see how the people looked, to see what the land looked like, how it smelled, how it felt. Fritz always loved to go out and meet people, to try to find out where their heads were at. He could rap with them for 5 minutes, and then when he left, they'd be a better person somehow. Fritz only lived 17 years. It's not a very large amount of time, measured in days, in months, even years. But he lived about 20 lifetimes just in the beauty that he saw and felt and was able to make others feel and see. I think that when he died, he was into something so beautiful that he had to reach out and take it, no matter what it cost. It killed him. But I bet he found it.
Stop it, Teddy. You killed him. Every one of you that took drugs with Fritz murdered him. He loved you, Teddy, and that's what you've done to him.
Mrs. Grunther, we didn't kill Fritz. We love him as much as you love him.
Don't you dare touch me. I blame you more than anybody.
They say the world suffers when one person dies. I guess the world sure is suffering today.
I want to talk to you away from here.
Who are you? I don't even know who you are anyway.
But you want to. Come on with me.
That's ridiculous.
Can I see you for a minute? You're right, it's ridiculous. Hey, what are you trying to do? We have to get back to the school. We have a program to put together, and you're part of it. Whitman, we got to get our signals straight. We might as well get them straight right now. If I'm going to be effective up here, you got to let me off the leash. Now, I'm going to take that girl for a walk, and I'm going to try and pick her brains. Are you going to let me? Or do we go back to L.A.? All right, I'll meet you back at the motel. Won't be long, huh? Come on.
Do you work with that psychiatrist?
What's your name?
Kendall Schofield. What's yours?
Poe. Casey Poe.
Casey. That's a good, strong name. I'll bet you're strong.
Sometimes.
What are you doing here? I mean, who are you anyway?
Can we go someplace else and talk?
Why?
I can't stand being around cemeteries anymore ever since my wife died.
Oh. I'm sorry. How long ago was that?
A little over a year ago.
Did you have any children?
She died giving birth to our first child. Most beautiful little boy you've ever seen.
What's his name?
Danny.
Does he live with you?
No, I'm on the road too much. He lives with my wife's parents. If I ever marry again.
I know a place we can go.
Good. Yes, I see. I'll be there this afternoon. No, don't tell her I'm coming. Just tell Dr. Evans that I'll be there as soon as I can. Right. This looks like the end of the world.
This isn't the end, it's the beginning.
How'd you ever find this place?
I don't know. I guess it kind of found me.
You know, this reminds me a bit of Gibraltar. I was on a pilgrimage to Mecca with Malcolm X.
Did you know Malcolm X?
Yeah. It was a long time ago.
You must have had an incredible life. Where did you meet Malcolm X?
I was introduced to him by a friend of mine. A fellow by the name of Big Bill Brunsey, a guitar picker.
I know him. I've got one of his records.
I didn't think anybody still remembered him anymore.
You know everybody. I bet you've been all over the world.
Well, I've gotten around.
Well, like where? What places have you been to? Have you been to New York?
I've been to, around, in, under, and through New York.
Oh, that's where I want to go most of all. New York.
I guess you will, then.
I want to go to Juilliard and study the flute. I wish I brought it with me, man. I could play it for you.
Maybe next time.
Then you're going to be here for a while?
I don't know.
You never did answer my question about why you came here. Did you come with that psychiatrist?
Yes.
Are you a psychiatrist, too?
Not hardly. You really want to know what I do, don't you?
You've done so many things.
I work in a car wash.
Oh, come on. Seriously, what do you do?
Well, I haven't done much of anything for over a year now.
I guess you loved her a lot, huh?
I'm going to tell you what I really came up here for. I came up with that psychiatrist.
You can tell me, Casey.
I'm an expert on drug addiction. I came up with him because he thought I could talk to the kids in this town and they'd listen to me when they wouldn't listen to other adults. It's a stupid idea. They don't want to listen to some jerk from the last generation.
Oh, Casey, I don't think you're a jerk. I think you're beautiful. Age has got nothing to do with it.
Oh, I couldn't cut it. I wouldn't know what to say to them. They just think I was laying more lies on them like all the other adults.
Oh, you're not like all the other adults. You're straight. They'd listen to you. I know they would.
I don't know. Ever since my wife died, I've just gone no place. What if you're wrong? What if they don't want to listen? I don't know. Everything I've tried this past year, I've loused up. Couldn't take another failure.
You shouldn't look at it that way. You've got to be positive. I think you're terrific. I think everybody will.
You're pretty terrific yourself. You're right. I've got to do it. Nobody else can. Will you help me?
How?
Well, I want to meet with your friends. Could you help me set it up?
I don't know. I mean, Teddy's been kind of turned off to everybody lately, and they all listen to him. I mean, if he won't...
Well, forget it.
I want to, Casey. I just don't know if I can.
I'm going to show you something that no one in the world knows about. My wife was the only other person I've ever shown these to. See those scars? I was a dope addict for 8 years. I know where every vein in the human body is located.
Okay. I'll try, Casey.
Where'd you walk to, San Francisco? No, I didn't go anywhere. Or get anywhere. Didn't she want to talk? I think she wanted to, but kids don't open up too easy to outsiders. Might be better if I cool it for a couple days and feel the town out. It's just as well. I have to go to L.A. Something came up. Gee, Doc, you gonna leave me up here all by my lonesome? I don't have any choice. You're right in the middle, aren't you, Palsy? Afraid to leave me up here. It's you back there. Just don't start anything while I'm gone. You're on salary? Group off a couple of days. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon, latest. Don't worry, Palsy. I can handle myself. Okay. See you later. Bye.
Where is this dude?
I don't know, man. Kendall's the only one who does, and she ain't talking.
Yeah, well, he's 15 minutes late already.
He'll be here.
My mother wanted me over to New Orleans.
Here he comes.
My name is Casey Poe. I'm up from L.A., up here with a buddy of mine, a psychiatrist named Jim Whitman. I'm not going to stand up here and tell you that taking dope causes bad breath or fallen arches, that you'll do better in school. You all know that already. I don't have to tell you anything about it. You all know everything there is to know about it, don't you? And everything else.
Listen, if we already know everything, what are you up here for?
Well, because maybe you don't quite know everything, son. Maybe there's one or two small pieces of information I can pass on to you. Something I might have picked up on my way to old age.
We're always eager to learn from the older generation, sir.
That's good to hear. Let's try this one for openers. If that kid hadn't been on drugs, there wouldn't have been a funeral yesterday.
Yeah, and if Sirhan hadn't been able to buy a gun so easily, Bobby Kennedy might be president today.
What kind of a stupid remark is that?
No more stupid than yours. Or more meaningful. You can't set up your life by saying that if something hadn't happened, something else might be different. Things are, man. Talking about them doesn't change them.
Oh, and there's no point in anyone talking to you, huh? All this hype about wanting to communicate, that's a myth. That's a myth.
Communicating is not somebody coming up here and telling me what to do with my life. It's exchanging ideas. It's not bringing back up the same old garbage in a new disguise. Look, man, I don't want to change you. Why do you and everybody like you have to tell me what's wrong with me? What's wrong with you? That you have to cut my edges off so that I can fit your vision?
There's nothing wrong with me. I've just been around a lot longer than you, Palsy. Now maybe I can save you some of the grief that I've been through.
You mean maybe you can bend my mind to charge up your ego? Where do you come off, man? Why can't you find it in yourself?
Oh, I have found it in myself, man, and I paid a lot of dues to do it, too. Hey, you want to know where I come off, huh? I'll show you where I come off. Right from the source, palsy. I lived with a needle in my veins for 8 years. Any of you snotty-nosed brats know what that means? That's walking down the street any time of the day or night and having a cop grab you and pushing you up against the car. Sticking handcuffs in your mouth. Or they'll pull you in and they'll sit you down and they'll wait until your eyes start to water and your nose starts running. And then say, hey, man, is your girlfriend still walking the streets to pay for your habit? Yeah, she is. But you can't do anything about it. You live from fix to fix. God forbid they bust your pusher, or they're clamping down on the town. I have known guys who shot lighter fluid inside themselves. I've been through every kind of hell you can go through and come out alive. That's where I come off, palsy.
I admire you, man. I'm not kidding. I do. I mean, if you really kick the habit, then you have something going inside for you. But that's not where we're at, man. I wish it were that simple.
Simple? It likes to kill you. That's how simple it is. Oh, hey, if it's so simple, why can't you lick it?
Because it is not about licking it or not licking it. You're trying to make this into a contest. It's not like that at all. It is about life, man. It is about breathing in dirty air and not trusting anybody. It's worrying about money, about ego hang-ups, about power. We're trying to bust loose from all those hang-ups, man. Now, we can't change your world. But we can get our own heads straight. Now you come back here with a clean world, and we'll be glad to listen.
You're not to listen if the world is falling apart under your feet.
You look down, man. And then you tell me that it isn't.
Get down. I could understand anybody else missing it, but I'm closer to her than anyone. As a doctor, I should have foreseen.
You're not Persephone's doctor. You never have been. This is a relationship between a man and a woman. The fact you're a psychiatrist has nothing to do with it.
I can't divorce what I do from what I am.
If you could, you wouldn't be worth much as a man or a psychiatrist. Persephone knows that. But she's human, so she exploits her frailties. You have to be strong enough not to let her do it.
The doctor in me understands that. The man finds it very hard to accept.
Okay, so she has problems. So do we all, one time or another.
How bad is she?
She took an overdose of sleeping pills. It may have been an accident, but I suspect it was a cry for help. Now, you can hold her in your arms and comfort her. Or you can make her find the strength within herself and give her the help she really needs.
I'm sorry. It wasn't your fault. Nobody can reach them.
I'm a stupid ass.
No, that's not true.
Stupid to come up here. Nobody gives a damn.
I do. Doesn't that mean anything?
Of course it does. But... oh, there's no point.
Does that mean you're not going to stay here?
What for? So everybody in town gonna laugh at me behind my back?
Casey, I'm not laughing at you. What's the matter? Casey? Something wrong?
Kendall. You're a nice girl.
What does that mean? Don't you like me? I thought you liked me.
Yeah, I like you. But
But then what?
you're a kid, Kendall.
I'm not a kid. I'm a woman.
You're still in high school.
So what? I'm not going to change when I graduate. I've been a woman for a long time.
Oh? What's that supposed to mean? That you slept with a lot of men? Is that your idea of what a woman is, huh? I'm supposed to believe that I'm the only one you showed this so-called secret place to, huh? Is that your game? Is that what you play? A little music on your magic flute? Romantic sound of the waves, and off come the clothes, huh?
I've never done anything like that. How can you talk to me like that? What's wrong with you?
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Why, you little tramp, you're just trying to use me like all the others.
You're crazy.
I believe you.
I don't care if the mayor's mother okays it. You stay there until I tell you to leave. Is that understood?
What's going on?
Hey, now look, nobody comes busting into my office without going through the front desk. That includes you.
Where is he?
He's downstairs in a cell.
I want him out.
The judge will set bail in the morning.
Now.
Now look, you came into this town with a known drug addict. You're supposed to be curing addiction, not fostering it.
He's not a drug addict. He hasn't had a fix in over 2 years. Now, I thought you were a bigger man than that, Glenn. I mean, how long does this man have to be out of jail before he's accepted back into society?
The man was in town 2 days. Why did you hide the fact he was an addict?
Because of the reaction I'm getting right now. All right, I'll give you a point. Maybe I was wrong in not revealing his history to you.
You better believe you were wrong.
If I had, would he have been welcomed up here? I told you the man is my assistant. He's a very important part of this program. Both these things are true. When you people called me up and asked me to come back up here, after publicly humiliating Dr. Altman, after not backing us up 1 inch when the public put a little pressure on, you said to do it your way. Well, this is my way, Glenn. Now, either I stick to it or I get in my car and drive out. The way I feel right now, the second choice is much more attractive. What's he specifically charged with? Did you get a statement from the girl?
She was no condition to get a statement.
Did he expect to get a statement?
I don't know. Her parents picked her up. They took her home. I'll talk to her in the morning.
Look, I know he doesn't have drugs with him. I know that for a fact. I got back to my room. It was a mess. The least you could have done is called the front desk and had a maid sent over to clean the place up when you finished.
Whitey, this is Glenn. We're releasing that man we brought in this afternoon. Poe. Have him brought up to my office. This is yours.
Casey, you just stay away from me.
Hello, this is Glenn.
Can we go now?
Hold it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Here, sign this first. What? When did they see you last? Yeah, I'll get right on it.
Ready to go? Yeah, you bet I'm ready to go, baby. The first bus back to L.A.
This is Glenn, that girl we brought in this afternoon. Yeah, that one. Her mother just phoned in, and evidently she got out of the house. Her mother thinks she might be on LSD. Put out a description. She must be wandering around. Try to find her before she hurts herself. I want her available to talk in the morning. Yeah, get right on it. I want you available in the morning, too. Don't let him get lost.
Look, I'm sorry. Stick it. All right, go back to the motel and pack, and I'll take you to L.A. myself. Oh, I can get back on my own, Palsy. Anything you want to do, as long as you let me drive you to the motel. All right, let's go. Listen, Casey. I'm done listening to you. All right, I know I haven't done you any good. That's an understatement. But don't stop trying. You're just beginning to open up. Don't let this one experience with me shut you off. There are plenty of other psychiatrists you can relate to. There's worth to you. Don't throw away your life. It was long gone before you came, Palsy. Couldn't even handle Teddy. He wiped me out in front of every one of them. Kid. If I can't deal with a kid, I can't deal with myself. Look, people like Teddy are special, no matter how old they are. I've been studying human behavior for 12 years, and I still have a hard time getting underneath people like him, but in time, I think I can. What you can't lose sight of is the fact that you reached out, you're committed to something. You and me working together made a heavy breakthrough. Now I can get behind Kendall and Teddy and the rest of them, talk to them, work with them, find a common ground, and sooner or later, they're going to talk back to me. We're all part of this together, Casey, including you. Open your eyes, man. It's all around you. Turn right. Yeah, your direction's mixed up.
I know where I am. Just hang a right.
You're not going. I'm going up alone. She's going to eat a doc. Now look, please! Now you're not going up there if I have to deck you. You're not going. My name is Casey Poe. was a drug addict for 8 years. I sent my wife to walk the streets to pay for my habit. I used her love to destroy both of us. And make me hate her. And all women. And in the end, I was left with nothing.
Like never before. And may we never, never, never study war no more. Talk to the heart of the men who lead us and make them understand right now it's the children who